Hey there, Gemini, and welcome back to Unicorn Tarot for your monthly reading. This is going to be a reading for the month of October 2022, and we're going to take a look at your past, your present, and your near future energies. Also, Gemini, please keep in mind if you are interested in a personal reading, all the information about how to book that is in the description box below. Why are you holding back? In the recent past, you're showing me I want to do something, but I'm not going to. Now again, keep in mind I say you because this is your reading. This could very well be your person's energy, so take it as it resonates. Okay, the main energy for your reading this month is the Ten of Swords. There was definitely a painful, very difficult ending that you experienced or are currently experiencing. You're definitely going through it in terms of the ending. And that could be why we're getting this energy in the recent past. But I feel like it's not as difficult for you to cope with it as you may have thought. Now, in the recent past, you get the Knight of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and the Call, which is the Judgment. You're showing me I'm making the decision to not take any action. You know exactly what you want to do. You know which direction you want to move in. It's almost like if you took the pause button off or you stopping yourself, you would charge ahead. You know exactly what you want to achieve here. But you're making the decision to not give this a lot of energy, to not invest a lot of energy in this, to not make things happen for some reason. And we'll see exactly why when we clarify. In the current situation, you get the Six of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Fool. You're showing me here that you want to restore balance between you and somebody else. You are willing to give 50% as long as they meet you halfway and give 50% as well. Your heart is open to this. So you're definitely not closed off. You're not like, hey, go away, F you, don't want anything to do with you. You're willing to basically have a brand new beginning here, right? Wave a magic wand, have a brand new beginning. But there's something here about you expecting an apology from this person. There's something about you recognizing like, hey, I'm willing to meet you halfway. But for this to all get the ball rolling, right, for us to get started, I'm expecting you to apologize for something. And we'll see what this is about. In the near future, you get the Five of Cups, Two of Cups, Queen of Swords. There is love here, right? But you and this love have some history, and the history doesn't seem so great. So it seems like you are trying to weigh out whether or not you want to pursue this love, right? Or is whatever happened in the past, is whatever took place in the past too significant and difficult for you to overcome? You're trying to make a logical decision here. You're showing me I'm trying to pull my emotions out of this to not let them get the better of me. So let's clarify. I'm going to start off by clarifying the Ten of Swords, which is the main energy for your reading this week. Ten of Swords is clarified by the Knight of Wands, the Eon, which is the Judgment, and the Death. You're still very, very not invested, I would say, but you're kind of, how do I explain this energy? There was an ending, right? It ended, it's over. And you're like, yeah, I get that, but I still feel connected to this person. I still feel drawn to them. I still feel like it's almost like I'm a magnet and they're metal and I'm just like, zoop, I'm just like drawn to this person. And you're recognizing that. And it's kind of beautiful because you're also not really resisting it. You're not showing me that you're trying to like reject this or pretend like you don't feel that. You're kind of like, yeah, it's over, it's done, but I still have these feelings and I recognize that. I'm okay with that. I'm aware of that. Very mature energy. Let's take a look at the Knight of Swords for you in the recent past. Knight of Swords is clarified by the Page of Swords, Five of Wands, Two of Wands. You're trying to figure out, it's not that you're trying to figure out what to do. You know what you want to do, but you're questioning and doubting whether or not that's the right course of action. You're kind of like, look, I want to do this, right? Let's just pretend I'm making something up. I want to get back together with this person. Then your brain comes in and it's like, well, do you really? How badly do you want this? Is it that important? Maybe you're just lonely right now. You're kind of like you're taking this feeling or this desire for action and you're questioning it and doubting it. and kind of like confusing yourself a little bit, but you're doing this on purpose because you're trying to stall for time. You're like, I want to give this more time. I want to wait a little bit more before I make a decision, before I take any action, before I move forward based on what I thought I wanted to do. Because you don't want to be impulsive or hasty here in the recent past. Let's take a look at the Page of Pentacles for you in the recent past. Page of Pentacles is clarified by the Fool, the Three of Wands, and the Devil. Again, you're showing me the same thing. I want to have a new beginning. I want, like, if you could wave a magic wand, right, and completely wipe the energies clean, start from scratch, and like beautiful, nothing bothers me, I'm not phased type of energy, you would. You would do that in an instant. But you're showing me I could do that. I want to do that, but I'm not going to. Why? Because I need more time. This whole doubting yourself and questioning yourself, this is how you're buying more time. And this may be a pattern of yours that you have where in order to not be impulsive or hasty or make sure that you're making the right decision, you kind of start questioning and doubting yourself, and that's your way of giving yourself an excuse to stall for time, to not take action, to not move forward, any of that. Let's take a look at the Judgment for you in the recent past. Judgment is clarified by the Seven of Pentacles, the Sun, and the Ace of Swords. You're really evaluating and assessing all your choices here. You're like, I want to make one decision, and I want to make sure it's the right decision. And I want to make sure that this decision is going to make me super, super happy, right? And you want to make sure that this decision does not come from an emotional place. You're like, okay, I want to be crystal clear that whatever action I take, whatever decision I make, it is the right one. It's going to lead to ultimate happiness for me. It's going to come from a place of emotional detachment and mental clarity. So it's going to be practical and logical. And you're really just evaluating and assessing everything. It's almost like you feel like I got one shot at this and I have to pick, like you've got like 10 doors in front of you. I have to pick the right door or else there's no way I can get a do-over. I don't know what this is about. I don't know what this kind of energy is, but it's very much like, sorry, I want to make sure I'm making the right decision because I only have one decision, like one token left to make a decision. And then I run out of all my decision tokens and I never have any more ever again. Like that's how serious you're looking at this, how seriously you're looking at this. Let's take a look at your current situation. I'm going to start off by clarifying the Six of Pentacles for you in the current situation. Six of Pentacles is clarified by the Page of Cups, Five of Cups, you get the Five of Cups again in the same row in the near future, and the Three of Pentacles. You really, and you get the Page of Cups again here in the current situation. You really are open emotionally to this person. Despite the painful ending, despite the difficulties, despite, we're over, you still want this back. And you're showing me, I want to work with this person. Look, I'm not saying that love has to be the first thing that comes to the surface. Yes, it's there. Yes, you have emotions for this person still, but you're like, I'm not going to lead with that. How about we just, get together, meet up for coffee. Let's just talk. Let's kind of see, test the waters and see where we're at to see, is the past still looming over us? Is it still so significant of a thing that we can't overcome it? But you're showing me, I'm open to this, right? I'll meet you halfway. You got to meet me halfway though. You can't expect me to come all the way to you. You can't expect me to do all the work here to test the waters, to work through what happened in the past. Like it's got to be a 50-50 thing here. And you're showing me if it requires an apology from me, I'll give it. And I expect you to do the same, right? It takes two to tango type thing. You're approaching this very maturely. It's almost like a little bit transactional where you're like, look, the end goal here is for us to get back together, to allow this love to come to the surface. I want to see where you're at. I want to rebuild this foundation. I want to see if we can get over the past. If you need me to apologize, I will. But I expect everything that I'm giving, I expect from you in return, right? I want you to work with me. I want you to offer an apology as well. I want you to meet me 50% of the way. Kind of like very much like, hey, this is what I want. This is what I need. Very clear, I'm sure. A little bit transactional in how you're viewing it. Let's take a look at the Page of Cups for you in the current situation. Page of Cups is clarified by the Six of Swords, the Temperance, and the Page of Pentacles. You get the Page of Pentacles in the same row in the recent past. You're showing me that you're willing to walk away from the past. You're willing to leave the past in the past, right? But it's going to take you're going to make slow progress. This is not going to happen overnight. You're showing me, even if this person comes in and works with me and we're able to overcome whatever happened and we're able to talk through it, right? It's still going to take me time to get over the past. Like, it's not going to happen overnight. Yes, I'm open to this. Yes, I'm willing to invest the work, but I'm moving very, very slowly. Like, this is just the pace that I can move at. I'm going 3 miles an hour and I can't go any faster than that because that's what I need to get to the place where I feel comfortable opening up my heart again, right? You're very clear in how you feel, what you want, what you're looking for. I'm just hoping that you're actually communicating all this to the other person as well, and not just like rattling this off in your head, but not actually like verbally telling the other person this. Let's take a look at the Fool in the current situation for you. Fool is clarified by the Chariot, the Queen of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles. Beautiful. You guys are able to come to a brand new beginning. It seems like whoever this person is, they're meeting you halfway, right? You're like, hey, this is what I want. This is what I need. They're like, cool, let's do it. And then you guys just kind of like meet in the middle and you both are able to have this beautiful brand new beginning. Now, what I love about this is the second you're showing me here, I'm moving slow. You think you're moving slowly. Energetically, everything is much like faster. It's sped up. Because you're like, hey, take it slow, take it easy. I'm not rushing anything. The universe is like, okay, cool. The second you two come together and you're able to have that brand new beginning, it's literally like all systems go and you just charge ahead. And the fuel for this charging ahead is love. You love this person and they love you equally, right? And you guys can both see like, hey, we're able to overcome what happened in the past. Now let's move forward. Let's build this solid, long-term, stable connection that we both want. This is beautiful. This is very beautiful. Let's take a look at the near future. I want to clarify the Five of Cups for you in the near future. Five of Cups is clarified by the Three of Cups, Six of Pentacles, Four of Cups. There's a reconciliation happening here. You guys are able to heal the energies. And again, it's coming from a place of love. You're giving 50%, they're giving 50%. This seems to be a very big focus in your connection where you're like, I don't want to give more than 50%. I want us to be equal. Like, I don't want to give too much. I'm also not asking you to give more than I'm giving. Like, equal. And you're showing me here, you're able to overcome what happened in the past because a reconciliation seems to be taking place here. Somebody is still holding back a little bit, right? And I do feel like it's you. Because of this, we ended at some point. There is still like almost like a little residual of you like holding back. You're like, yeah, I'm giving 50%, I'm working with you, but it's like you're not fully exposing yourself. It's almost like you're taking off little bits of your armor, of your shield. You still have a little bit on. Like maybe you have like your helmet on and like 2 gloves, right? But the rest of the armor is off. There's still you holding back emotionally, just a little bit in the near future. Let's take a look at the Two of Cups for you in the near future. Two of Cups is clarified by the Knight of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, and the Nine of Swords. Yeah, remember how I said you're still a little guarded? You're removing most of your armor, but it's almost like you're still kind of trying to take things slowly. The emotions are there. The love is there. All these energies are beautiful. Because you're still kind of holding back a little bit, you're kind of trying to slow things down. The reason you're slowing things down is because this emotion, this beautiful emotion of love, these feelings, they feel good to you, but they also stress you out a little bit. There's a little bit of anxiety popping up here for you in the near future. And again, it's totally understandable, right? Just because you get back together, just because you're able to overcome this hurdle, the past is still there. What happened in the past is still kind of like lingering a little bit. So it's going to take you a little bit of time to get over that. But it seems like overall you're moving in a very, very good direction. It's just a little bit of like you still not being 100,000% positive. So you're holding back a little bit and it's coming from a place of anxiety. Let's take a look at the Queen of Swords for you in the near future. Queen of Swords is clarified by the Five of Swords, the Six of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. There's a bit of energy here showing up in the near future of, I want to make this more difficult than it needs to be. Things are going well, things are going good, right? But then the feelings that you feel, like I said, they feel great, but they start to scare you a little bit. And then what do? You kind of like pump the brakes on everything and you're like, hey, wait a minute. Everything feels great. Everything feels good. What if I'm getting played? So what am I going to do? I'm going to take my emotions out of it. You attempt to become a little bit cold, right? And a little bit difficult to deal with because you're kind of like just making things a little bit more difficult. Because again, there is a little bit of fear here in the near future of, what if these feelings feel so great, but I'm going to get hurt again, or this is going to end again, etc. So what you're doing is you're throwing a little bit of an emotional tantrum of like, I'll give you an example. Hey, do you want to hang out tonight? Sure. What time? Let's do 5. And you're like, just to be stubborn, you're like, no, let's do 5:35. Okay, so 5:30? No, 5:35. That's what I want. It's kind of an energy like that of like, you trying to get your way to prove that you're still in control of the situation, not really testing the other person, but more so, again, you just trying to be a little bit difficult because this is coming from a place of, I don't want to get hurt again. I want to make sure that I'm in control. So I want to make sure that I'm kind of dictating how this relationship goes. It's a little bit childish, I'm not going to lie, but it doesn't seem like that's something that's going to really hinder you and the other person. Let's take a look at what the universe wants you to keep in mind this month, Gemini. From the universe, you get the Nine of Swords, the Moon, and the High Priestess. Look, your fears, your unknowns, your, hey, I don't know where this is going to go. Yes, we're back together. What if they leave again? Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. It seems like you're not really willing to admit to yourself that they're even there, right? Remember how I said this anxiety kind of rears its head a little bit in the near future? This whole tantrum that you're throwing is because you're not willing to look at this. I'm carrying this anxiety, this fear that this might not work out. You're taking this fear and you're just kind of like, nope, doesn't exist. You're burying it deep within you. Well, guess what? Just because you don't want to look at it doesn't mean it's not going to go away. Doesn't mean it's going to go away. It's just going to manifest itself differently. And the way it manifests is by you throwing little temper tantrums to kind of get your way to alleviate this anxiety, this fear that you're experiencing about this connection possibly ending again, this person hurting you, etc. So just keep that in mind if you notice that popping up again in the near future. So Gemini, that is what I have for you. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you here on the next one.